NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, how good you should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Wednesday, April 1st. Hump day. But come on, like it's Easter weekend this weekend. You've got the Prime Minister giving a chat to everybody tonight. Nothing to see here, folks. Jeez. Anyway, so that's going to be pretty crazy. But remember, we've got a 4-day weekend ahead. She'll be right. Plenty of hoops happening too. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios, about to head off to go see Sublime play at Festival Hall. Cannot wait. I love Sublime. I've loved Sublime since I was a kid. Now they've got the kid of the original singer singing for them, which I think is neat, and I'm very excited to go see them and drink a million tins. So, quick show today. We're going to do the best and worst of the day. Basically, because there was 7 games. There's not a giant amount of other news, so we'll just sort of dive in, smash through it. So, without further ado, I reckon that's what we should do. NBA Australia's best and worst stuff of the day. Let's go with the Daily Whip Round. There we go. Hall of Famers were announced. Amari Stoudemire. Okay. I mean, I'm conflicted in this. I love Amari. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, though. You know what I'm saying? But I guess once they let in Mitch Richmond, the door's just wide open. Someone just left the back door open. Everyone's just walking in going, yeah, g'day, I'm a Hall of Famer. It's all right, great. Candace Parker, Aladel Don, and Doc Rivers are also amongst the members inducted into the Hall of Fame for this year. Doc's still coaching, and he's been horrible for the last 10 years. Many would say more. So I don't know what's going on there. Bit sus, but anywho. And the other big news from today, Jaden Ivey. How to make friends and influence people. He could write the book of how not to make friends and not influence people unless they're mouth-breathing morons. So he's revealed that his wife isn't texting him back. His family's not texting back. If you watched a couple of his live Instagrams, you wouldn't text him back if you were his wife either. You'd be like, I don't know. Sorry, sir. I fornicated before marriage, so you think I'm not righteous and should probably end up in hell. Anyway, he's gone off the deep end. And, he's also been, it's come out that he's, basically doing these interviews that become sermons, basically. And he's asking, Bulls reporters and Pistons reporters when he was on the Pistons, whether or not they've been saved or if they've fornicated before marriage. A, none of your business, weirdo. B, shush. Get out of here. I didn't ask you. Come on. Of all the chatter we have with athletes and, giving them a pedestal upon which to sort of pontificate, somewhat ironically, we don't really sort of sit back and go, hey, how much rooting were you doing before you got married? We don't do. It's called decorum, you idiot. And religious beliefs aside, I couldn't give a crap, right? This is the thing. Religions, they all do their thing. If that's your thing, sick. Don't impinge upon other people's rights to not feel weird around you. I think the most obvious thing here is, if this was someone who was from another religion doing this stuff, do you think the uproar, that sort of, there's a little part, tiny little bit over there that's defending him, but do you think that the same sort of thing would have happened and we all would have gone, that's just, stop being weird, dude? Yes. Right? So hiding behind your religion is just ridiculous. Religion is an excuse to be a dickhead, right? Simple as that. Anyway, I did love Nick Young. Nick, Dickhead of the Week nominee, time and time again, Nick Young. Here's where you messed up. You went at Steph Curry. You said the golden child wasn't a Christian. God might even do something to you for that. What other N-word you know is 6 foot and the best in the NBA? Nick Young, funny as. I'll pay that. Hey, what were the games happening on today, Jim? Well, we had some pretty fun ones, didn't we? Yes. Phoenix, Orlando. Weirdly came down to the wire because Devin Booker went off his head. Orlando were smashing and they win at 115-111. Dylan Brooks came back, which was kind of neat. There was a million different texts given out. I'm watching this going, what is going on? You all need to settle down. What was it? Desmond Bain, Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks all got texts on the one thing. You're like, hang on. They've all got the same initials as well. This is weird. Great win for Orlando. Keeps them in the standings. We'll get to standings check in a second, but keeps them in it. Brooklyn got curb stomped by Charlotte 117-86 because, of course, they did. They stink and Charlotte are good. Toronto, Detroit, the Dwane Casey Bowl. Detroit just absolutely outmuscled them. I think, even without Cade, Detroit are a problem. 127-116. I'll tell you what, Dennis Jenkins has been fantastic. He's going to pop up again in a second, but Jalen Duren was even better. Huge win for the Pistons. They're basically the 1 seed now. Knicks, Rockets, 94-111, Ruh-roh. The Knicks, I reckon we're doing the sine wave. Got to flatten the curve. The Knicks are bad again, I'm pretty sure. They're in a we'll get to standings check in a second, just settle down, but wow. They're very lucky that results elsewhere went their way today because not great. Rockets were really, really good. KD, just unreal. Just overall, a replay of the 1994 NBA Finals. Like Cat, 7-17. Brunson, 5-14. Josh Hart has already come out and said Memphis is a must-win tomorrow. How about you must defend better? And not shoot 42%. They shot 54%. The Rockets absolutely smashed it. A team that can't shoot threes went 15-35 from downtown on the Knicks. Whack. All 5 of their starters in double figures. Reed Shepherd, 20 off the bench. Huge win for the Rockets. Again, get to that in a second. Cleveland. Oh, wait a minute. We skipped the Dallas-Milwaukee game. Milwaukee smashed them 123-99. Cooper Flag, fine. Milwaukee, Ryan Rollins. Cleveland, what? Cleveland. 113, Lakers. The Lakers won. 127-113. They were awesome. Luka was incredible. Cleveland made a little bit of a run at it late, but it was never too much of a sweat. Huge win for the Lakers. Cleveland, that's not great. And finally, Portland outlasted the Clippers in an awesome game, 114-104. Mostly because Drew Holiday is an absolute weapon. Right, so standings, check. How are all the playoff races going, Jim? Well, I'll tell you what. It's getting very interesting. Pistons with that win. They've played their 76th game. They're up 4.5 games. They're your East 1 seed. The Celtics with the Knicks losing today are basically locked into the 2 seed, 4.5 games back. They are 2.5 games up on the Knicks, who are 48-28. Only 1 game ahead now in the 3 spot still, ahead of Cleveland, who, by virtue of losing the Lakers, that was a real kick in the groin. I'll tell you what, had they have won that, it would have been on for young and old, but still 1 game back there. The Raptors, with their loss, they still stay in the 6th spot behind the Atlanta Hawks in the 5. You've got Philly in the 7th spot still for a second. Orlando, by virtue of their win, are in the 8th spot ahead of Miami and Charlotte. Charlotte, they've got 40 wins. They're 40-36. They're behind the Heat, who are 40-36. The Magic with that win today are 40-35. The Hornets got this win today. They are struggling so hard to make up any ground on the teams ahead of them because it's just this much of a dogfight for the Hornets right now. They have to win out, basically, I reckon, to scooch up to the 8th spot, which should be awesome. I just want the Hornets in the playoffs. There you go. Out west, OKC and the San Antonio Banderas Spurs are 1-2 still. The Lakers are still in the 3 spot. They needed that win over Cleveland today to make sure of that, essentially. They're 2 games up on the Nugs, who are in the 4 spot, who are then only 1.5 games up on the 5-6 seeds now with Houston. Basically getting back up to 46-29, the same record as the Wolves. 1.5 games behind the Nugs in 5 and 6. You've got the Suns who are locked into the 7 seed, basically. The Clippers, with that loss today, I'm just saying it's all getting a bit how you going because they're now 39-37. And the Blazers, I mentioned this on NBA Coffee Run this morning. The Blazers-Clippers game is a big one because the Blazers aren't out of like the 8 spot right now. And boom, they're now 39-38. It's like 1 loss back. Pretty good. The Warriors are at the bottom. So there you go. Standings check. Who was the NBA Straya Performer of the night, Jim?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Jalen Duren had 31-9 against Toronto and was tougher than all of them. He had 3 assists. He shot 12 of 13. It was awesome. 7-7 at the free throw line. In the 8 games without Cade Cunningham, he's averaged 25 and 10 with 3 assists. He shot 77 true shooting percentage. Bloody hell. Not bad. Luka Doncic, 42 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. He had a dunk to finish off his 42 points. He is the 3rd youngest player to reach 15,000 career points. Yeah, you should probably trade that guy. Hey, Nico Harrison, you big dumb idiot. He also has now averaged a 48 and 7 on 64% true shooting in the last 13 games, and the Lakers are 12 and 1 in those games. Luka's pretty good, it turns out. But my favorite today was the Portland Trail Blazers backs against the wall in a dogfight in this Western Conference. You want to get the double chance. You want to land the 8 spot. Jrue Holiday goes whoopang! 10 of 21 from the floor, 7 of 15 from downtown, including the kill shot to get the Blazers over the Clippers in LA. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. That was awesome. This is an old school veteran leader, champion, who comes out and goes, all right, let's not lose this one. Denny was awesome with 28, 11, and 8 as well. But Jrue was the one who hit the big shots down the stretch. Huge game. Those are your 3. Jalen Duren, Jrue Holiday, and Luka Doncic. That's not a knife. Who is Spud of the night, though?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. We had a few Spuds. 0 of 6 for Jevion Carter. 1 of 12 for Max Christie. Yeah, he's the awesome throw-in the Luka trade, man. Don't sleep on Max Christie. Luka's averaged a 48 and 7 in his last 13 games. Max Christie went 1 of 12. And Anthony Davis is a wizard. 1 of 9 for Deuce McBride. Yeah, the rest of that, I don't know, that entire Knicks team could basically be Spud of the night, as I mentioned earlier, right? 7 of 17 for Cat, 5 of 14 for Brunson. Brutal. But 1 of 9 is the most egregious. Donovan Mitchell on Cleveland. Cleveland! I'll tell you what, that was just... Cleveland! 10, 3, and 6 on 4 of 10 shooting and a minus 24. Yeah, not a great gig, I'll tell you that much. But we would like very much to thank Chris Middleton and Tristan Aravinda de Silva, because what did they shoot today, Jim? Oh, yeah! Chill! They shot 311. That's another band that I do love, and obviously, you know, same kind of, I don't know, era, I guess, as Sublime, which I'm very excited about tonight. Old Mate No Mates is pretty easy today.
Old Mate No Mate.
Yeah, it's Jade and Ivy. Like, just, again, your religion doesn't excuse you for being a massive, massive dickhead. Right? Just simple. You don't have to go, unrighteous, unrighteous, unrighteous. You're all going to hell because that's what I believe. Cool, man. Shut up. Right? You annoying idiot. But really, like, this could not get more Old Mate No Mates. When your wife is not returning your text because you've gone and made a fool of yourself and cost yourself your job, oh boy, that's Old Mate No Mates, because that's like the last line. So, yeah, he could... I mean, at least he's got his religion keeping him warm. Yeah, sure. Pantsing of the night. One of the great ones we've seen this year, Jake LaRavia, of all people, got Go the Fro Jared Allen. Go the Fro! Oh, he did. That was absolutely chaotic. Jake LaRavia absolutely yammed it on Jared Allen. LeBron also flying through the air against the Cavs for like sick dunks. You're like, ooh, that man is as old as me. That's crazy. Better than Bronny James, Ben Simmons, and Lonzo Ball today.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Bronny had an amazing 7 trillion today. 7 minutes, 0.000000000 2 fouls. So 7 trillion and 2. But better than Bronny James, Ben Simmons, and Lonzo Ball today, Dennis Jenkins. I love him. 21, 5, and 5 for the Pistons point guard. What a story he is. Like, backup point guard, absolutely crushes it. 37 minutes today, 5 of 9 from the floor, 9 of 9 at the free throw line. has absolutely kept this Pistons ship shape and pointing in the right direction. Like, that is absolutely awesome. Undrafted rookie weapon. Just his last run of games without Cade, 22, 8 and 7, 34 and 8, 19, 3 and 10, 19, 2 and 9, 13, 8 and 4, 15, 4 and 6, 21, 5 and 5, and they've only lost 2 of those games. What an absolute legend. Honorable mention, 24, 7 and 4 for Ryan Rollins. Right, Australian Player Watch for today. Let's do it. We had Josh Green play 14 minutes against the Brooklyn Nets. 3 points. 1 and 2 from the floor, both of which were threes. And he had 2 turnovers and a steal. Okay. Tyrese Proctor was very good, though, against the Lakers. 12 minutes against the Lakers did our man Tyrese Proctor play. Speak good, I do, yes, says Yoda Jim. 10 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from downtown, 2 of 2 at the line, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, a plus 13 in 12 minutes in a game they lost by 14 points. Free Tyrese Proctor, I'm saying. And then finally, Aussie Matty T had an amazing turnaround bucket earlier in this game against the Clippers off a tip ball. It was a beautiful beat the buzzer. It was unreal. He played 24 minutes today and was a big part of their win. He had 5 points in these 24 minutes. He shot 2 of 5, 1 of 4 from deep. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 3 steals, and a block. Weapon. Plus 7 in 24 minutes. You legend, Aussie Matty T. Right, that's the Australian Player Watch. How about tomorrow's games? Let's do some game previews. Game previews. Thanks to Burton Bain. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, good. I can't wait for Sublime today. I'm just working myself into a fervour. The baby squid loves the phrase fervour. It's because it's in his Octonauts book. The bloody Vegemals. I don't know how many of you out there are really sort of attuned to the Octonauts. But yes, there are these things called Vegemals, and they were discovered by Shellington Sea Otter, their scientist on the octopod. They're part animal, part vegetable. Well, vegetable, hence Vegemal. Anyway, and they worked in a fervour, says the 3-year-old squid, in his book about them, going to all the different habitats because they were making their kelp cakes. Fervour. Tomorrow, we've got 9 games. It's a big Thursday, and a couple of these big ones have, again, playoff implications. So let's go into it. Remember, you can find all of our picks over at Double. The link is in our show description or our social bio, so go have a look. Philly at Washington. Embiid is going to absolutely eat up this Washington team. I reckon he goes for 30+. Philly, 15.5-point favourites, taking the Sixers. They need to keep winning. Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George should carve them up. Atlanta, Orlando. Huge game for both these teams. Absolutely massive. Because, remember, they're right there in the thick of the morass in the East. Because the Hawks are currently 43-33. The Magic are 40-35. They're the 5 and 8 seeds respectively. Orlando are on a back-to-back. Can the Hawks win this? It's going to take a bit. The Magic weren't wildly convincing against the Suns, but they did win, and they were good enough in the end. 4.5-point underdogs at home. I think I'll take the Magic, but even on a back-to-back, I reckon there's just a little bit there now. And the Hawks are just very weird, like good win against Boston the other day. I reckon the Hawks could win this, but I think the Magic keep it close. They've been playing horribly of late. That was a good win today, though. Oh, I can't do that, can I? I've trusted Orlando. This is like the teams you can't trust. All right, Orlando plus 4.5, Atlanta win. Boston, Miami. This is another huge one. You've got the Heat, 40-36. The Celtics basically locked into the 2 seed now. I'm going to take the Heat plus 5.5. Hero's been playing really well. Bam, he's sort of just, his shooting's a little bit off after his 83-point explosion, but Miami, always tough at home. Play Boston tough. I'm going to take the Heat plus 5.5. They might lose it, but I'll take the points. Knicks, 14.5-point favorites on the road in Memphis after today's embarrassing loss to Houston. I think they lay the smackdown on Memphis. I'm going to take the Knicks minus 14.5 because Josh Hart's already called it. Must win. So I think they must win and by a lot. Toronto hosts Sacramento with a weird sort of turnaround with the Raptors losing today in Detroit. It's pretty close by. Not a long flight. Raptors are 13.5-point favorites over the Kings. I'll take the Raps at that big number. Sacramento have been a bit queuing the rack of late. Let's go the Raptors. They need to keep winning because, again, in the 6th seed right now, that could change dramatically. If they don't win tomorrow, it's like all hell will break loose because if they lose, the Sixers are right there, but they shouldn't lose to the Sacramento Kings. We'll take the Raps. Indy in Chicago. After all the Jaden Ivey stuff is broken loose in Chicago, joke of a franchise, I'm going to take the Pacers plus 4.5. They shouldn't be underdogs against this Bulls team, but that's a really gross game. I'll take the Pacers plus 4.5. Milwaukee, Houston. Houston on a back-to-back as well. They desperately need to keep winning. I expect them to keep hitting some shots. Bucks on a back-to-back on the road. I reckon a big Houston win there. Denver minus 16.5 in Utah. They just gave them absolute fits last week, didn't the Yaz? I think the Nuggets might be a little bit more locked in now. 16.5 is a pretty big number. Denver, I think they could smash them. I think they will. I'm going to go the Nugs. And then we've got San Antonio, Golden State. Golden State without, they've got the Zinger back at times. They've got Draymond. 13.5-point underdogs at home to the Spurs. I still think the Spurs kill them. I think we've got a pretty big gulf at the moment between some of these teams, and that's another big one. So there you go. But that's it. So you can find all the picks over at Dabble. Link is in the show description or the social bios, and we'll be back on deck tomorrow. So no show on Friday with Good Friday. So tomorrow's show will be a big Power Rankings Friday, set you up for Easter. I think I'll come back and do an Easter Monday show, but we're going to be down the beach. So I'm going to drive on Friday. It's going to be an absolute schmozzle. Footy's on early too, so it's going to be a bit chaotic. So we'll do a show on Thursday. Big setup for the weekend ahead. Be back on Easter Monday as well. So remember, you can find all of our stuff on the socials: Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Follow NBA Coffee Run there as well. What else? Footy Unfiltered. We had our big round 3 wrap, round 4 preview come out. It's very fun talking about footy, so go get around that. Jim does Supercoach as well. We've got the NBA Supercoach show that's already out. AFL Supercoach will come out tomorrow as well. Always a good chat there. And that's it. Hope you got some NFL tickets. Jesus. Whew, that sucked, didn't it? Anyway, there you go. That's the best and worst of the NBA today. Tune into NBA Straya every day for everything NBA. Subscribe or I will fight you. Big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. This is NBA Straya saying look after yourselves, would ya? And later, hosen.